was so visually chaotic, and there was so many things happening. I saw so many things that I don't think I'll ever see again, and I've never seen before. So that was very fun, quite an experience to watch. Whoever created this was had a great imagination, like a great creative mind, just bringing all these things together into one art piece. Something you couldn't take your eyes off of, all the colors and images, and combinations of images that you would never think of. It was a very fun watch. And yeah, the title remains true. It was a very happy, brought a smile to my face film. So
Really experimented with these, I'd assume, visions of happiness and perspectives of happiness from all these different angles and all these like animals and like I don't the happiness you would feel if you were taking an illicit substance. It was really interesting. I think there were a lot of really beautiful shots. I don't think I fully understood it, but that's not necessarily like the hallmark of like good art. I think for what it is, it was really beautiful and um, sporadic and jumping back and forth, but that's kind of like what happiness is. So in that way, it makes sense and it's done very successfully um, and it comes together very nicely. I want to say very interesting to watch. Like I said, lighting choices, a lot of these different shots, just very beautiful to see, and just a really interesting piece.
I want this music as my ringtone now. It sounds very Pink Floydian. I loved it. They use a lot of elements that represent happiness to humans, and they take us to travel across different planets, into whirlpools and labyrinths in this universe to find different characters or inhabitants dancing on various costumes and doing whatever makes them happy, just minding their own business. But then we have these other elements or characters just deceiving and attacking others. It's an outstanding commentary on society. I love the nice touch with the flying elephants and shooting flowers and hearts. It's whimsical, and it was an excellent film.
Overall, very satirical tone to it. It kind of almost made me just want to say, everybody relax, stop being so serious. I got to think perhaps that was part of the intent here. But yeah, no, it was fun. The imagery, I just can't even begin to explain. If I was going to tell somebody about this movie, I'd say, you just got to watch it. So, but it was, yeah, I liked the energy and the craziness, the nuttiness, the irony of it.
I don't entirely know what to make of that. I'm not sure that that's a bad thing, though. I was certainly never bored by what I was seeing. I think that as a series of really striking and fascinating images, this piece is really succeeding for me. I think you're using a lot of really cool effects and beautiful patterns and colors, and it's very visually arresting. I think a lot of the individual images themselves, the dog people in robes, the elephants in onesies. There are just a lot of things to grab your attention and sort of demand that you sit up and take notice. I don't know that it ever really comes together to be anything greater than the sum of its parts, and I'm not sure if it's intended to function that way, or if I'm supposed to extract like a greater meaning out of this. But at the end of the day, I think that the parts themselves are pretty fantastic and cool.
It did conjure up happiness because it was a cool, fun, video with fun colors and costumes. It reminded me of the 70s or being on somewhat of a drug trip. Not that I've ever done drugs, but if I did, I might have some kind of visuals like this going on. It just felt like some kind of a fun trip. I started to overthink a little bit with the elephants, thinking maybe there's a political message here, and then the guy bent over with kind of talking out his butt. I feel like that was something to do with politics, with the star representing a specific country, maybe, and the fighter pilots or whatever those were. But it seemed like there was some kind of metaphors and messages going on. I just tried not to think about it too much after a minute because it just looked like you were supposed to just have fun with it and go with it. The dogs with the robes kind of reminded me of like Hare Krishnas, but I don't know. I don't know if it was just fun visuals to not really think too deeply about. So maybe it was all about let's just all get along. But anyway, fun costumes and effects and colors and music and just a fun little video.